Yeah. What's really happening? It's your boy OG Gigaveli with another episode of Street Code of Conduct. Today's episode, man, we gonna be going down the aisle, right? I'm talking about in the early 90s. Y'all come on, man. I'm coming straight from the book press. If you ain't already got this book, you missing out on a real good Miami story, man. I'm gonna give y'all a little piece, and then I'm gonna talk about it a little bit with y'all, man. So y'all come on in. Let's rock, right? Let's go back. Y'all come on. Let's ride. We going back in time, y'all. Back in the 80s and the 90s, 15 Ad was live. I mean, wide ass open. If you was a street nigga, a hustler, a player, or any kind of real nigga, you got your money. You got down on 15th Avenue. Everybody in the city knew that 15th was so popular that a song was made about it. 15th Ave, 15th Ave. Niggas get paid on 15th Avenue. If y'all too young, y'all don't know who that is, man. Shout out to Atlanta native LaJuan Love, man. He dropped that album back there in the 80s, you know what I mean? That was a real popular song, man. He had another hit too called I'm an Outlaw. So y'all get up on that boy, right? I said the L was where I belong. I was born to hustle, to be amongst the real go-getters. I was, you know what I'm saying? I was Pig son, a real nigga. Shout out to my old boy Pig, man, out the sub. Back to my role on the album, I was a watch out, was the bottom of the ranks, only one up from being a, you know what I mean, the junkie that cleaned up the spot. After the shift changed over, yeah, back in the days, selling dope in Miami was ran like a real live business. So you hear what I just said, man? My first position on the album, I was a watch out, man. A lot of people entered the game like that. Back in the days, you ain't just jump rank. You ain't just jump on the line and you the bomb man or you the lieutenant. You know what I mean? You had to crawl your way in, man. So I was real proud of my little position, man. All I had to do was, you know what I mean? Back then we wasn't calling them 12. We was screaming Bo Brown, and you would hear that all up and down the air, boy. You hear white boy in the hole. You know what I'm saying? So that because you know that wasn't really, you know, you didn't really have white customers coming in the hole. So we seen the white boy, we already felt like that was the police, right? So that was my job, man. I was one of the highest paid watch out. I was making $100 a night. And back then, that was a little change. You do the math, but it was all kind of other ways to get money too on the air. So I'm gonna get into the story. Y'all gonna see. Let's get at it. So I say there was none of that free for all shit you see now. You see today with everybody selling dope when and whenever they want to. That was the type of shit. That type of shit would get you killed so fast in Miami. It was called short stopping, a real street violation of the code. So being a watch out was just my way of entering the dope game. I would be content with that role for a little while. So when the opportunity came along to make some extra money slinging rocks for my big homeboy Legit, who ran Star Boulders, I took it. So, you know, I like I said, man, you know, I'm a real hustler, so I'm always looking for ways to get more, but you have to, there's levels to this shit, you know what I'm saying? You're not just going to jump straight from walking up on the spot and ain't nobody put you down and now you serving the bomb. I did my time as a watch out. Opportunity presented itself, man. Shout out to my boy Jit, man. You know, Jit ain't no longer with us, man. Shout out to Super Hen. You know, I got that boy, you know what I mean? Me and Hen like this. I'm gonna drop a little picture of me and Hen nowadays, you know what I mean? Hen retired, but y'all know Superman, super real legend on 15th, man. I'm gonna let y'all know who Super Hen is. But check it out. So, I keep jumping out my sports trying to explain. Jit liked my style and how I was dedicated to the corner. See, even though I worked for another spot called Peeping, I would always make sure I looked out for the whole corner. Jit spot was on 7-1, the same street I used to post up on. Only it was on the corner of Sugar Hill Projects. I used to be right there across the street from the Arab store, right where Miracle's at, right? You know, Miracle's on this side, the Arab store on that side, Sugar Hill right in the corner. It's a little lamp post right there. Lamp post. If you know how 7-1 run that way from 14th to 15th to 17th by Dorsey. That was my spot. I had to watch out to make sure if 9 came off 18, then I would let the boys know down there on CMO. They 9 coming off 18. If 9 tried to hit the corner off 14, I would scream, Bo Brown off 14. So Jit kind of dubbed me. Jit them ain't have no watch out. Jit spot was right there in Sugar Hill on the corner. So I would, back in the days, man, everybody looked out for everybody on the air, man. You know what I mean? If Bo Brown come down, you hear him screaming all the way from down on 6th Street and all the way up and down the air. We had that type of early notes that they was coming through. So Jit liked my style, y'all. So Jit put me down. So let me get back to the story, and we're gonna talk about it a little more. I'm gonna stop interrupting the read, and we're gonna talk about it. All right. He would pull up and see me on my post and call me over to his car, talking about Jit, to make a little store run for him, mostly for cigars for his weed. When he first asked me, I told him that I was on the clock and I couldn't leave the app. He already knew that it was a test. He told me to make it fast and he would watch the block in my short absence. I got $20 for my effort. You know what I mean? Like I just told you, that was a lot of money. Now I'm already making $100 a night. You know what I mean? But people always showing you a little love, so you gonna come home with a little more money. You know what I mean? Than what what you made. You just know how to get your grind on. But running to the store wasn't nothing. You know what I mean? Going to get that for Jit, and it paid off in the long run. I knew who Jit was and that he was a real boss of his own spot. They called him Jit because he looked young as fuck. He was a little shorter. He was a little short nigga. Word in the street was he was a real go-getter before becoming deep in the dope game. He used to rob and whatever else for that check. I think he gravitated towards me because he saw a lot of me and a lot of himself in me. It became a daily routine for Jit to pull up and fuck with me until one day my homeboy Jock, y'all might have heard Jock and Allen. They down there, Dirty Red, Jock, Allen, Spider-Man. You know what I mean? Everybody on that end right there by 6ix9ine, Rosalie Stowe, all us, the Alley Boys in the cut. All this be around there getting money all by miracles, man. You might remember some of these names, y'all. I know pretty much when I be dropping names, people remember them and they'll shout that out too. But my homeboy Jock, where I'm at. Jock was his regular bond man, didn't show up. So Jock, I think he had got locked up behind something with his baby mama. So Jit asked me if I wanted to make that money. Who was I to turn it down? You already know with me, if it's about money, count me in. Serving Star Boulder was easy money I had ever made up to the point in my life. Jit brother Hen, aka Super, would bring me the bomb like $5,000 pack that was known back then as jugglers. Now that was Jit them had them jugglers. Star Boulders had them jugglers. You know what I mean? He would bring a $5,000 bomb that's like 1,600. You know what I mean? Rocks, and all of them were jugglers. You know what I mean? So they called it jugglers because you could take a $5 rock off the app and go back to the beach or out of town like Broward County and sell them for $20 and $40. Soon as Super handed me the bomb, it was gone. It was so bad that I used to make tips just to serve junkies first or hold some rocks until they got there. During this time, I started seeing some good money for a young nigga. Back then, I started making just $50 a shift, $100 watching out, or $100 a shift watching out. But there was always other ways to make a little more money. I just told y'all that. For instance, before I went to work, I would go into the Poker Bean Projects and cop me a few Blue Dot Dimes or powder. See, the Blue Dot Dimes had some fat. Blue Dot had some fat dimes. Shout out to Nas. Them boys out of Blue Dot, they had this packing in the Poker Beans, right? The sack was packaged just the same way our peeping package was. The only difference was Blue Dot was shaped up coat, and we had that raw. They had a little blue dot on their packs, and we had a bumblebee on ours. So here was the game, and I'm gonna finish it up. Once I give y'all the game, I'm gonna talk about a little, talk about my experience on the app. So here was the game. I would collect some of our blue dots, some of our people stickers, the empty ones, and sometimes I would invest like $40 and get me 4 blue dot dimes. All I had to do was put the people sticker on them. So now I would have 4 halves for sale, which doubled my money from 40 to 80. Plus my $100 that I was making for watch out. You know what I mean? I was doing good. I was cool with that for a while, but I had to be careful with the game because that was another form of short stopping. If it got back to the nigga that I was working for, they would surely try to make an example out of me. So I'm gonna stop right there and explain to y'all some of the things that I'm talking about, right? Back in the days, man, we had a rule, man. You couldn't shortstop, even though we had spots all up and down the app. You couldn't just pull up and have your pack with you and you just start serving on the app. Man, that was short. That was a violation. You know what I mean? And what I was doing was a violation too, because I was going inside the poker beans. They also had a blue dot spot over in Scott Projects too. So if I burn myself out in the poker beans, I go over there near Scudder Hole in Scott Project. They had a blue dot spot over there too, and get me some blue dots. Everybody know how Miami is, man. We put names and stuff on our package. So what I would do is the blue dot dimes look just like the peeping halves, and the half is a 20. So I would take the blue dot off the I can talk about it now because it's over with. But I would take the blue dot off the blue dot, and I would put a people sticker on it, and then I would sell somebody a 20. You know what I mean? That's how I got money like that until I started doing other things. But the ad was real live back then, man. Up and down the ad, you only had 2 spots that stayed open 24 hours. That was peeping. And that was down there with Duke them spot down there, you know what I mean, with Sajak them. They Murph spot stayed open 24 hours. If you didn't get it off, if you didn't get it in them 2 spots late night when all the other spots closed up, you had to go on 18th Avenue and get served. But we had spots all up and down the Ave. Then we had. I'm gonna name the spots for y'all, and I'm gonna shout out one of my homeboys. I told him I was gonna shout him out on this one right here, and he's a real open locker legend. I'm gonna shout him out when I get down to their spot. But coming from 7-1 down to 6-3, right? You had peeping right on the corner, right by Miss Jackie's store, booting store right there. You had peeping. Then you go across on 6-9 by Miss Rosalie's store. You had over there that was where Gucci and all them used to be at right there. That was Nate and Ant them. You know what I mean? They had their little spot in the corner. You go across the street on 6-8. On the other side by 6-9, you had Slope them. They had the formula right there. You know what I mean? You go down a little further on the app, right over on 6, the other 6-9 right there. You had Deputy Dog. You had Mooney Boy them with Cloud 9. Then you go to 6-8. You had Clint. I'm talking. Shout out to Pratt. And all them boys out the sub, they used to be right there. Large Mart used to be right there on 6-8. You come back across the street on the other side. You had Fat Tony and Lil Cab. Them had them open up a little, but that's a little later. That wasn't so early, but that's a little later on the air. They had a little spot right there where they had CDs and they were doing their little thing there too. You go down 6-8. You turn up in there. You had Miss Mammy them with Flip Flop and all that down up in there, right? So you come on down a little further on 6-7, right there with Trina Mama store. You had them boys with clip bag. They had their little weed right there too, right? So you go down. Now you finna get down to the other end. You finna get by 6-4. Before you get to 6-4, you had Sunny and Sweets, and that's why I'm gonna shout out my homeboy. You had T. Shout out to T, a real open locker legend. You know what I mean? Talking about Terrence. You had Lil M them right there, Gabe. You know what I mean? Right before Murph game room. Then you had Murph them right there in the spot, right at the game room. You had Murph, Sajak, and all them in the cut right there. Then you had Duke them Mama store, and you had Duke them right there with one stop. You could go in there and get your $2 dinner. Come on out, get your little one stop. Then on the other side of them, you had Speedy up in the cut right there with the little blow too. Then you had PE with Lemon Line with Block with Chop. And you know, them boys right there up in there, Goombay and all of them used to be up on the air right there. And that's where it ended at right there. Then you had 60 seconds, you had to go across the street to 6-1. This your boy with another episode of Street Code of Conduct. Like I said before, man, y'all make sure y'all support the movement, man. Y'all get the book Pressure, Real Miami Stories in here. And then when you finish that, y'all make sure y'all cop that Federal Pressure too, man. Thanks for joining me, man. This your boy OG Gigaveli with another episode of Street Code of Conduct. 15 Ave, 15 Ave. Niggas get paid on 15th Avenue.